tight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by BlackRifleCoffee.com.
Whoa! Ho, ho, ho! Ho, 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 ho! There she is. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
It is our Christmas show, kids. I feel like Santa Claus has already come.
Yeah, well,
I feel
like
like
I
he
said,
has already come down the chimney.
December 1st might as well be Christmas Day.
Oh,
to me.
boy. You know what we're doing?
Whoopsie.
Whoopsie.
Hello.
Hi-oh.
What's happening with that sweater?
It's lighting up.
Oh, the cats are lighting up.
Is that a cat sweater that lights up?
You bet your ass. And
Where
every
does
cat
one
is
get
wearing
one like that?
a Santa hat.
You bet.
Where do I get all my greatness?
Oh, Walmart? Did you go to Walmart? Did you ball out at Walmart?
I balled out, dude.
Nah, I get it.
I balled out. I could not resist.
This is my Christmas. A little Zima. Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna treat myself. I'm gonna treat myself is what I'm gonna do. Because it's Christmas.
You wouldn't.
Because
you wouldn't dare.
Whoopsie ding dong. Yep, got the jollies. I've been saving these for a special occasion. Because as you know, these went out of biz, if you will. Ooh, you almost have to.
You have to cool it down.
Ooh, these went out of biz as of 4th of July weekend. Or no, I'm sorry, Labor Day weekend. And they no longer have these. However, our lovely, lovely listeners have sent some for Christmas.
Well, they sent so many things, but also mainly.
We'll start with Joshua Plants out of Connecticut. He sent an entire case of Zimas. Josh, that's a big boy move right there. That's a baller move, and I appreciate it. Cheers to you, Josh.
Cheers, Josh.
I appreciate it. Oh, man. The first sip is what it always gets me.
Oh, there we are.
Boy, I feel like I'm home.
Yeah.
You know those people have those near-death experiences, and they see like they see their whole family, and they feel like they're at home? Uh-huh. That's what drinking one of these is like. It's like having a near-death experience and then seeing your whole family welcome you home. Oh. Yeah. That's really what that is.
Really specific. Yeah.
We also got some amazing gifts from the Abends, dude.
I feel like they're part of our family.
So do I. Rick
Basically
Abend,
part of our family. Yeah.
I mean, this is one. I'm a huge fan. Anything Yeti is like, and they're not a sponsor. I wish they were. Because I love all of their shit. Oh. I mean, these are some 22-ounce bombers, dude, of Yeti. Not only does it say my name on it, it says Ross, also got Big Dick Daddy on the back.
Can we talk about mine?
Oh,
the perfect color for Jables.
Yep.
And blam.
Jessie, look at
that.
Look at that. I mean, this is Christmas season is upon us. What else we got? We got some more. We got some more Zimas here.
Some more Zimas.
Ooh,
I want to give a little.
Merry Christmas, Ross. You're a pretty little princess. This is Joey Sheary. There is no L in believe. Believe it or not. That means there's no losers. There's no losers. God, he nailed it.
Oh,
Joey,
wow.
Again. Nectar from the gods, because this is still out at a couple stores, like or scattered around the nation, where there's like a staggered 6-pack. Mm-hmm. The fact that you guys are taking time out of your day to send me this is fucking insanity and awesome. And I really do drink this shit like all the time. Like, I mean, this is no bullshit. Like, I'm killing the game with these right now.
Oh yeah, it's not a joke. It really is Christmas Day when you get those. I want to give a little shout out to Jack Abend.
Yes,
which is Rick's, I think, 11-year-old son.
Yes.
That wanted to give a present to my son.
I know.
Are you kidding me?
I know.
You guys.
And wait, but show the gift, because it's a hockey puck.
It's a hockey puck that they caught at a game.
At a game
where they live.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
and he sent
are you
it.
kidding?
The son sent it to our son.
To family.
I know. Like you're almost
And
near tears.
he's gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be amazing.
Are you kidding
He's gonna love it.
He loves it. And last but not least here, this one's going
Jack,
out.
we love you.
Yeah, we love you so much. The whole Abend family is
They're part of our family.
Yeah, they're part
we
of
need
ours.
to start sending them Christmas cards.
Exactly. The other one, and this is amazing. Augie, longtime listener, first time sender.
Oh boy.
He just says thanks for being fucking rad. He was the guy who was working the Big Ten National Championship game with the Ohio State.
Officer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. The Ohio State University played in against Wisconsin, and he was like, "Dude, I'm gonna get you some swag from the game. Got a sweet little beandog millionaire that I love. Little koozie for the Buckeyes,
Of course.
And look at this. Just got a Big Ten championship. Go Bucks.
Oh dang.
Go Bucks. I'm gonna wear this the rest of the show.
Never gonna take it off.
No.
Never gonna take it off.
No. And greatly appreciate it. Wish I was at the game so I could have hung out with them. It was one of those things where we were traveling. Usually we go to all the big games. We were traveling. I forget where we were. And we had just gotten back from somewhere. I think it was Thanksgiving, actually. We drove down to Florida. The game was about 5 days later.
Yeah.
But Augie, love you, buddy. This amazing. Simply amazing. We have the best listeners on the planet. The Booch.
We also got Booch, high alcohol content, 7%
Boom.
alcohol volume. Booch.
I love.
You get
by the way,
cleansed
yeah.
as you get retoxed.
Yep.
You detox while you
Huge
retox.
kombucha fan, by the way.
Yeah. I mean,
Huge
and
kombucha
Boochcraft is the business. So we got a bunch of these to get loose.
Man, so good. So good. And a lot of people don't know. My Booch days go back a long time in LA.
Yeah, the black label,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, the black label. I forget who makes it. It was like Divine Grape. I only remember it by the store.
It was like the kombucha brand. It was like
I think so.
Right? Where it's
I think
like
so, yeah.
the first
Yeah.
ones. It's that distinct bottle.
But I remember on Helen Keller versus Night Wolves when we were shooting that, one of our crew members was like, "Dude, I heard you like the Booch a lot."
He makes Booch.
He made Booch. So he made a whole, a fucking jug of it, like a growler sized jug of it.
Yeah.
I drank it the entire shoot. It was a little intense for people. I'm curious as to your thoughts on that.
On this
Yeah,
or
yeah.
the homemade Booch?
No, on this.
Oh yeah, no.
Because it was strong like that.
Strong like this. Well,
yeah.
The thing with the homemade Booch, toilet wine style, at home, he made it in his bathtub.
Totally
so there
fine.
was that you're
I
kind
loved
of
all of
thinking
it.
about too.
Every day
and
I
then
drank
it had
it.
a very strong mushroom
Pungent.
flavor because
Yeah.
it's made from fungus, essentially, Booch.
Yeah.
And so when it's real intense, it's a mushroom drink,
Yeah.
which you love.
Whatever it is, I love it. I
Sure.
can't get enough of the Booch.
Sure.
And,
Who doesn't love a good mushroom drink? You
Oh
know?
man, that's that Booch. Booch is gonna get you loose. These Yetis though, this is all day. These are for the car. Wink, wink.
Sure. Road dogs. Road
A little
dogs.
road dog on the way to wherever you're going, and,
To school,
and for
your kid's
game
school,
days. Yeah,
little road dog to drop your kid off.
Why not? You know,
Why not?
Why not? Let them know who you are.
Especially around the holidays. Don't you feel like there's this gray area of like
do.
everyone's drunk,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Every
All
single
day,
person.
Or is it just us?
No. And I expect it, by the way. I expect
Yeah.
it when I go out. But I did give somebody a death stare today. That was like, I had to catch myself. Some dude was racing up like 80 miles an hour, and the road we were on was only like 40. And he drives by me and then slows down and gives me like this, what the fuck you driving so slow look? And I was like, I'm going the speed limit because it's Christmas. Chances are everybody's been drinking at this point. So
Sure.
I'm keeping it safe. You know, I'm not, I don't need to go 200 miles of running. I don't need to do that. So I'm going the speed, and this guy slows down and looks at me, and so I sped up next to him, rolled down the window. I was like, "You got a fucking problem?"
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Exactly. And I
Right.
caught myself, and he was, because I was like, I guarantee you won't get out of the goddamn car right now. And he was just like, there was like this moment of panic, and then like in his eyes, and he was like, "I'm sorry, man. Merry Christmas." And we've been so busy, like the Christmas thing didn't even kick in at that point.
Let's not.
And I felt
right.
I felt bad for maybe 5 seconds, and I never feel bad for 5 seconds. Like, you know what I'm saying? Usually I forget it. Like, great, it's just another part of the day. But I felt bad for 5 seconds.
So he was up on your A? Or
yeah.
Like, okay.
And just sped up on my A of like, why aren't you going faster? I was like,
okay, got it.
Bro, it's fucking 40.
And you had this whole conversation.
So 40, we're in a 40 mile an hour zone. Yeah, and he's speeding wherever he's going. He's late for some Christmas event, I'm sure. But fuck him. Like, shit. Again, everybody on the road has been drinking. Like, fuck no, I'm not driving 80. Like,
right.
I'm not kicking it up for you. Fuck off. You can go around. There's another goddamn lane.
Right.
Right. So yeah, but it kicked in of like, oh shit, it is Christmas.
It is.
You can't say you're gonna rape somebody, like another man, out of dominance on Christmas. You know, you gotta let that sleeping dog lie for a little bit, and
just for a couple days.
I gave the old, because this right now, to me, is the new chief. That's the new chief in my eyes. When you give the old, 2-finger salute now to somebody, not in a military way, but just in a fucking dickheadish way, like that's the new, you good, chief?
Right.
You good, chief?
Which is so condescending, right?
And both great. Are.
And great.
Both are. So it was just like, I gave him the 2-finger fucking.
I saw this meme.
Go smell your butt.
It was like, I cut someone off in traffic and they pulled up and gave me a thumbs down, which was like, somehow more hurtful. Like if someone was just like, oh, right?
All right. Yeah, so if you gave it like a Russell Crowe gladiator of like, really took your time with it.
Yeah.
And then went hard thumbs down.
It's like a teacher saying they're disappointed in you as opposed to being mad at you.
No, I get that.
So much worse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
I'm into it.
I might use that.
For sure.
I'm a big double birder. Like, I'm a big double bird guy where it's just like.
Right, and then you crash into something. So you have
No, because I can drive with my leg real well. Like, I feel really confident in my leg. Like, I feel if I didn't have to.
Which leg?
My left in particular. Mm-hmm. Left or right, actually. I'm ambidextrous with leg driving.
Right.
And I feel that if I didn't have to make any sharp turns, like off of, like like a lights off of an exit ramp, I'd be fine to keep driving with my legs. Like I'd be fine.
Sure.
So I felt confident in that. So yeah, I'll go double bird and let them know, like, hey, I don't even need the fucking wheel, bro.
Who's boss?
Yeah, I don't even need the wheel. Boom, you just got double birded.
Yeah, very festive.
Oh, isn't it?
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Ho. Zima's going down real smooth. Down real smooth.
I bet.
It's a Merry Christmas for other reasons too, and we'll get to that in a second. Like the full story, but
of the birth of Jesus. Or?
Nope.
Oh,
Papa John is out.
Oh yes,
the
Merry
Papa.
Christmas.
It's the other father of our country, if you will. Talking about PJ. He's out. Fuck Papa John, dude. That guy is gone. We'll get to that in a second, but as always, we got some sponsors who pay for this whole shenanigans to be on the air. First and foremost, we got straightrazors.com. Yeah, Jabes. Oh boy. So I talk about straight razors all the time, and I'm gonna go ahead and go on a single on this one of me. They're making travel size now of the aftershave, and this is my fave, Jabes, right here. Boom. This smolder. Mm-hmm. This is a travel size smolder for the road where it's like, fucking A. These guys are really starting to blow up. Now that you're making like travel sizes, like people like me are addicted to it. And they're making these shampoos and conditioners that are the fucking best. And it smells like a smolder as well. Here's the straight razor. And these straight razors, boy, when they come, all this shit comes to your house. Super classy. Great gift for Christmas. I cannot recommend straightrazors.com enough. Use the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. It's straightrazors.com. Let's say you forgot to get somebody a gift for Christmas. Boom. Send them a nice straight razor kit for your whole man shit. And apologize. Tell them to Merry Christmas. And to go fuck themselves.
Double bird Christmas.
I was thinking about saying double bird Christmas.
Sure.
Then I didn't, and then I ended up saying go fuck yourself. Yeah. So, it is what it is.
Sure.
Next up, we got blackriflecoffee.com. Boom. Fucking day before Christmas, 6 boxes show up. We have a subscription to the month club where we belong to the coffee club.
It's the only way to go.
The only way to go. It is the best way to go.
It's the only way to fly.
And look, let's say you're not a K-Cup person. You're not a K-Cup person at all. They've got bags, and their bags are amazing. Everybody loves their beans. They are a premium roast to blend, roast to order. Is it roast to blend or roasted blend? Blend to roast.
Blend to roast.
Roast to blend.
It's basically roast to order is what they're saying.
It is roast to order. I think that's right. Every time I get it wrong. They roast the coffee fresh, and then boom, they put it in a bag, and it goes out to you. So they're not buying like shitty beans from like some other weird country that you don't know about.
They're not slapping their name on a prepackaged coffee. In-house, everything's done there.
Yes.
Like it is the most hipster / non-hipster thing you can
It's great.
do.
Yes. Black Rifle Coffee is the best coffee on the market. By far my fucking favorite. I'm not even a coffee guy. I drink it every day just to wake up. But this is my favorite. And their apparel. Boom, I'm wearing.
I drink it all day.
I wear their fucking shit all the time too.
I'm wearing a tank top under.
Yeah. Black Rifle Coffee tees are dope as shit. Their apparel's amazing. Use the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. And again, their Coffee of the Month Club, it just shows up your door. You don't have to do anything. It is the greatest invention ever. Big fan of blackriflecoffee.com. For 2018, they are our lead sponsor. So you will see them on everything, and you hear them at the top of the show. So we got a new theme song, which is nice. Last but not least, we got Strikeforce Energy.com. Boom, boom.
Boom, boom.
If you were at the live show the other night, we were giving those out. It went like crack rock.
How fun was that?
Blast.
Come on now.
Thank you to Wilmington Brewery for hosting us and fucking letting us do that shit. We were there for, like 7 hours getting rocked.
Yeah.
But we gave out Strikeforce to everybody.
Yeah,
the whole
it was all
place went
gone.
bug fuck.
All gone.
Gone. And then everybody was trying it. And like some people hadn't tried it before, and they were like, what the fuck? I didn't understand. And I was like, bro, I've been trying to tell you. They just got added to another 200 7-Elevens as well. Across the nation.
Shit's going down.
I know.
Dude.
They're going to fucking blow up.
I know. We knew them when.
We did. They've been in with us from day one. They're staying with us until day 90, until they sell out, and then they don't have it anymore.
Sure.
But I told Sean Matson and Bruce Schley and the boys over there at Strikeforce, if you guys sell this shit for $200 million, forget about Dre. I'm going to be angry about it. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about guns like I ain't got none.
Yeah. Because you need a little boom boom in your drink, and it's right here. Go to strikeforceenergy.com. Type in the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. Go ahead.
Go. No, you go.
Let's get to the papa, shall we?
We shall. I just want to say one thing about the live show. I got burned. I got burned? You burned?
By who?
So I was like doing my, I haven't gotten roofied before joke bit. It's a bit now because I do it a lot.
Right.
I might have to retire it.
All right.
So I'm like in the group, and there was like my beer was in the middle of nowhere because we're just like running all over.
Sure.
And I grab it and I was like, oh yeah, I've never been roofied. And then like talking to this group, and one guy was like, that is funny every time I hear it. I've heard it about 6 times. I was like, oh. Burned.
So he called you. He called me out.
He goes, but it's funny. It's funny every time I hear it, but I've heard it a lot.
Wow. R.I.P.
R.I.P. to that joke. You never know how many people are actually listening to you until they start being like, we already heard it. You know what I mean?
It's about 750,000 total. So
you're
looking at $750,000.
Now I know.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Oh, they know.
It's a real thing that does haunt me and plague me, but I didn't know how much I actually talked about it.
Sure.
So I'm going
to let it go.
I'm going to let that one go, and then we're going to get into
You're going to frozen it.
The garlic sauce.
You're going to let it go. Let it go.
Sweet, sweet garlic sauce. Is that what we're talking about?
Papa
how
John's,
good the garlic sauce is?
We can, because that's the only thing Papa John's is good for.
The only thing.
That piece of shit place. Look, they're saying Papa John's stepped down for his comments that he made about the NFL. How he said the protesting, that's been hurting their business, and he wished the players weren't going to protest. There was extreme backlash online over it, because they were like, no, people have the right to protest, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Probably liberals, like to be totally fair and honest about this whole situation. However, I'm going Stephen A. Smith tonight. Whenever you're drinking Zima, you go Stephen A. Smith a lot. However, his statements were true because business is getting killed. The NFL is down 25% in the ratings. Therefore, Papa John's business is down. They went all in. The Papa went all in with Peyton Manning a few years back and said, hey, we're making Papa John's the pizza of the NFL.
Sure. Which,
80s and 90s as a kid, growing up, I remember it being like Domino's and Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut was big for a lot of years, but I feel like this decade has been Papa John's. Mm-hmm. Well, now that these players are protesting and numbers are down, well, nobody's watching the games. Therefore, they're not ordering any fucking pizza. Well, when you're the pizza sponsor for the NFL, it's gonna hurt your business. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what he was talking about. And I hate this motherfucker, by the way.
Sure, you're not defending him.
I'm not at all. I'm defending his comments for this. I'm not defending him as a person being a shitbag because I don't think this was the only reason why.
Yeah. Do you think this was like?
Yeah, we've talked about this on the show before. I had a friend of a friend inside a police department say that a girl back in the day had filed rape charges against him. She got paid off and it went away. Whether this is true or not, I can't confirm it. I didn't talk to the officer, but this story has been going on a while behind the scenes. With everything that's happening to everybody in business and media right now, it would not be surprised if that story also caught him and they were getting ahead of that as well. Because the timing is curious of why he would step, or the board asked him to step down, allegedly. The timing is curious because he made these comments about the NFL 6 weeks ago. So why not, there was a big backlash about 6 weeks ago. Why not ask him to step down then? Why now?
Right.
I think there's something else going on there with the Papa that we don't know about.
Sure.
Either way, he's out. And look, it's not a fucking day too soon for me. I can't stand seeing that guy's fucking face everywhere.
Right.
And inserting himself in the fucking pizza commercials. Yeah. With everybody.
With Peyton. Like, why does he get to
and
hang out
shitty
with
acting? Because he put himself in the commercials.
I'm just saying, like, who are you that you get to, like, hang out with Peyton? And, like, even in some of the commercials made Peyton look like a dumbass.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Well, he's the owner.
I know. But
and you have that option. And this was the knock on Puff Daddy back in the day with Biggie Smalls, where it was just like, why are you fucking dancing in all the videos? Inserting just, yeah, take that. I was like, what the fuck do you do, bro? Like, this is Biggie shit. Why are you? And that was what was happening with Puff Daddy. And they eventually had to find him a ghostwriter and make him a rapper, is what happened. And so Puff Daddy started putting out his own albums. And with Papa, though, he has no discernible qualities that are like a Papa. Because like when you hear Papa John's Pizza, and I used to work for them in high school, I didn't know what this fucking dude looked like. I assumed it was like some old man from like Italy. Like the world's most interesting man who created this pizza.
Yeah, Papa
John's. I was sorely mistaken when I found out it was that bag of shit. And I was like, oh, God, you're the one who's making this fucking pizza? What the fuck, bro? Would you make this at your fraternity house? Like,
he's literally like just somebody's dad going through a midlife crisis.
I pictured it to look like a Santa type figure, maybe.
Sure.
Like that was the Papa. Then as he started to come up, because the Peyton Manning thing I can answer for you. Peyton Manning owns 29 Papa John's franchises. And the second that Super Bowl ended, the first person on the field hugging Peyton Manning when he won the Super Bowl and retired? Papa John.
No.
Go back and look at the footage.
I can't.
Yeah. So it's him and the Papa hanging out at midfield, and it was just like, oh, Jesus Christ. So I think Peyton got a little more than those 29 franchises, probably got a piece of it. Now the Papa's out. Peyton Manning's just going, thank fuck I don't have to hang out with this douchebag at every event. He's just a low-level
employee, basically.
Yeah. So now, he got demoted to some position. He stayed on with the company, but you're not going to see his goddamn face everywhere all over TV, which is nice. Oh, and that's, I know this sounds selfish of me, but I feel like this is the best Christmas gift I could get.
Right.
I really do.
Yeah.
I felt like that was
You're
a
easy.
special gift.
Yeah, you're easy for sure.
From above. So R.I.P. Papa John. No need to see that dude anymore.
Bye.
Another thing that everybody wanted us to talk about and hear our opinions on was net neutrality, by the way. So
hear
if
it
if you're,
so much.
I hear it all the time. If you're having trouble viewing this show right now on Facebook and or YouTube or iTunes, since we are live video now as well, everywhere, and audio, blame net neutrality. Just blame net neutrality. So everybody's hit us up asking us our take on this. My take is this on net neutrality. I don't know enough about it. Before 2014, net neutrality didn't exist. So now it does again. I don't know what that's going to change. I thought my internet was fine for all of the years up until 2014. Obama passed this thing where it was like free, internet neutrality and all that other shit.
Do you know what it is?
I do.
Okay.
But I did not see a change in any of my internet or any of the sites that I've ever gone to either way. So I don't know the difference.
But Obama made it so what they're trying to do now is undo everything Obama did. So that's why you don't see a change, is because Obama made net neutrality.
Sort of.
Right.
Because before Obama, there was nothing. Right. So I had no problems with the internet before
right, but
Obama's
it was going
change.
in that way, and
maybe it was.
Right.
Here's the change that I did see. I saw it with Netflix, me personally. So when we moved to Wilmington and got internet, who the fuck is it? Is it Time Warner or Comcast?
We had Time Warner, yeah.
I had Time Warner, and they got bought by like 30 fucking people. Whenever we use Netflix, you couldn't use Netflix twice in two different locations in your house. Mm-hmm. Which at the time, I would say that was what, 2013 and in 2013,
That's
2014. But hang on. So when I did that, when I used it twice and it didn't work on one of them, and I got this message that popped up that said, it's not going to work everywhere. Because all of this net neutrality is speed, and it's providing speed to all of the sites. And it's the net neutrality thing made it equal of like, oh, hey, everybody's on an equal playing field with net neutrality. I personally did not think it was. Like, again, I couldn't use Netflix in two different locations, so I called the cable company and I said, hey, man, I have the best internet you could buy, besides like a business internet, which would fucking be enough internet for a whole goddamn warehouse. Like, I don't need that. I just need the best business internet for a house. And I said, they were like, well, what's the problem? And I said, I'm trying to watch Netflix on a TV upstairs, TV downstairs. Oh, well, you can't. Netflix is eating up a lot of bandwidth, is what they had told me on the phone. And I was like, oh, well, what the fuck does it matter? Like, I'm paying for enough anyways. Like, why?
Right.
And they told me, this was the cable company at the time. They said, well, we've decided against certain sites are using too much bandwidth, and we're deadening them.
Yeah.
Same with like you take fucking go in flights. They won't let you watch certain video apps on when you're on a plane. And with phones, you have the LTE on your phone once you go past your data limit. Like every company says on your cell phones, oh, we have unlimited data. If you read the fine print, you actually don't. It's 22 gigs is what it tops out at. After that, then it says in fine print, we will slow down your speeds according to what we feel is right, which is the big video sites, Facebook, YouTube, Netflix, and now Instagram, because Instagram is obviously heavy into videos. And so with that, when that happens, then you had places like AT&T, which is offering these deals now. You see them on TV. Hey, if you buy an AT&T phone, we will give you HBO for life, and that doesn't eat into your data plan for the month. So when you get something like that, and then that causes other companies to say, all right, great. Sprint is offering some type of service where they're giving some unlimited video away for certain sites, and some, another place else. That's starting to bleed over into everybody's internets, where you're like, all right, well, fuck. Do I really? Because HBO on its own is $15 a pop.
So is that why Spectrum called and was like,
yes,
I would like to tell you about our streaming service? And I was like, I have internet, I have TV, thanks, bye. And basically hung up on him.
So now here's where the net neutrality thing becomes an issue. There is a lot of sites that are eating up video, speed and space and all of that shit. You're basically forcing other companies into buying each other out. AT&T right now is going through a deal, or DirecTV. They already own DirecTV. So that's yet another thing with AT&T. If you have an AT&T phone or a device, you were allowed to watch DirecTV unlimited on your phones, and eat up as much data as you want, and that's free, and HBO. But other phone services like Sprint, T-Mobile, all of them, they don't have those deals. So then you're essentially forcing them to go out and buy other cable companies, which there's a Time Warner deal on the table with AT&T right now. And that I don't know if that's going to go through or not, because of these restrictions and reasonings where if these companies are forced to buy up all these other companies to give you faster data and faster internet speed, then where does that bring you in, let's say, 3 to 5 years? Are you just buying up everything to try to get lure people in to get the faster speeds? You don't have to pay for this, but you need to buy this, but you have to buy an extra thing. I think that's what they might be trying to prevent, because right now all of these conglomerates are forming into one, and it's because of bandwidth, internet, and video feeds. And once that happens, you're going to be down to, if it happens, you're going to be down to like a monopoly essentially, where it's, I've gone over this before. Like first it was NBC, then it was NBC. The NBC got bought by Universal. Then it was like, great, NBC Universal. Then it got bought by Time Warner. So you drive by the building in LA, NBC Universal, Time Warner on it. It's just like, fuck, man. What's the next thing that you're going to buy up, or somebody's going to buy you up and add? And right now it just happened, 2 weeks ago with this Disney Fox deal, buying Fox. And initially, like on the outside, you look at a deal like that and you say to yourself, all right, what's the big deal? Disney just bought Fox. No, it's a huge deal because Disney now wants to become a Netflix. They're pulling all of their content off of Netflix. Then they're going to pull all the Fox content off of Netflix. And then they're going to sell you an app that is the same as Netflix. And that'll be coming out probably, I'd say, fall of 2018. And the reason being is they have all the kids' movies. Now they have all the Disney movies. Now they have all the Fox content, including The Simpsons. Any show that's ever been on Fox. Disney owns ABC. They own ESPN. Now they own Fox Sports. They own all of it. So now you're going to be forced to get that app. That's going to be another streaming service that you're going to have to buy, and you're going to need more bandwidth for whatever the fuck that is. So when does it end of buying up all these corporations and lumping them into one just to try to beat internet or bandwidth speeds? Like, I don't know. So in a long-winded answer for the fans, I don't know enough about it or where the future's headed internet-wise to really give you a firm answer of whether or not I think this is good and or bad. What I can tell you is this, is ever since video became the latest and greatest fucking thing on every single app, and look, we are video. We make video shows. We go live with video shows. I do a bunch of sketches online. We do movies, trailers, all of that stuff. I don't know where the storage goes for all of this. Like, I don't know who keeps that and who's going to keep those speeds going faster. Do you start taxing these companies and making them pay more to get faster speeds? Maybe that's the answer. I don't know. So I don't know enough about it or where the future's headed yet to tell you why. And I think my biggest reasoning for that is I know there's companies like Facebook and Google who are in a space race now to give free internet to the world through a satellite in outer space. The first tests for Facebook are going to be in Africa and India. Not because Facebook is so great that they're just, we want to give free internet to the people. Facebook is not in Africa and India. And because they have problems with internet there and then governing laws and all of that stuff. But if they're giving you free internet from outer space, then you're going to log in. When you open up your computer, you will start in your Facebook app, and then you will go to the rest of your sites. Much the way, like my
Google, yeah.
Yes, whenever I open up my computer, it goes to Google, and that's my homepage. That's what they're trying to do, and that's what Google's trying to do. So here's how both of those companies could throw a wrench in all of this is by putting a satellite in space and then offering free internet to the world and saying, fuck it, you can use whatever you want. We're not, we're not a part of your country or district or whatever. We're just giving free internet away to the world, which is what I think will eventually happen later on down the road.
Right.
Where we'll look back at this as one of those things where we had to pay for internet. Like we were that, when we were your age, we had to pay for our internet. Because when it started, it was a fucking cord you plug into the wall. You had to pull out your phone jack, plug it in, and then the phone company charged you like a crazy amount just so you could download one porn picture that took 45 minutes. And then you slowly were like, oh my God, it's a bush.
As it's downloading,
It's a bush. Yeah, but you had the noise and the shing, shing, shing. And you were like, oh God, this is exciting.
I think my dad still plugs in.
Probably. There's a lot. There is people that still plug in.
He lives up in the mountains.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've got to ether. You got to ether it.
So you went from that, plugging it into the wall, and then you went from when Max with a big thing. Remember those white squares? I still have one upstairs. That was your internet port. You had to plug into that, and then that went through your internet provider, but you still needed that white. Looked like a home base for it's like second base on a baseball field, and it was just like, all right, great. I had that. Now that thing was gone like 2 years later. So what's the next thing and what it's going to be? It's probably that, but what year that's going to take place and why? For now, the whole fucking net neutrality thing and people bitching about it is much to do about nothing. Because again, it didn't exist before 2014 anyway. So I didn't have a problem with the internet then. The only problem I have with it was now. But all these video sites pop up. So there's the long and short of it. I'm sure I'll get some fucking emails about, oh man, it's going to kill, mom and pop things or whatever. It's like, I don't think so. I really don't. You're not going to slow down, little tiny sites and things like that. Like, I don't think that's how it's going to work, to be honest with you. I think they're probably going to go after the big companies, try to tax the shit out of them and say, hey, make sure you're not creating monopolies for these other companies that now have to come in and buy you out just so you can get your shit out to the world. But that's just a guess. But I haven't. It is not something that I follow that closely, just simply because I don't really care. Like that's not a big thing in my life where it's you let these big corporations duke it out. Whenever you try to fight them, nobody wins. Nobody wins in these fucking things. So you're just gonna have more monopolies and more companies coming together, which I don't want. But I also didn't want to get stuck in the Atlanta airport the other day. And that went down.
Right.
And we've had a lot of interesting people send in theories on this. And there's one floating around that's the best to me.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull it up. And it was on 4chan. Because we talked about this on a previous episode, right. How one plane landed during the power outage in Atlanta.
Or took off.
One plane landed and took off.
Okay.
No other planes did. And they're saying they're saying this outage was created to get this cargo plane in and out of this airport. This is according to 4chan. The plane in question, I'm gonna read it off here, is a 4X ICB. It's a cargo plane that arrived in Atlanta from Mexico City at 1 p.m., which is almost to the exact second that the time that the power went out.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, I remember looking at my watch. I want to say it was like 12:55, somewhere in there. So that's correct. This plane then went on to leave for its next destination at 6:27 p.m., right in the middle of the blackout. There is an official record indicating that this flight did come in. Came in at 12:56. The cargo plane that's in question is owned by Cargo Airlines. It is a Jewish-owned company based out of Israel who specializes in the transportation of nonstop cargo such as live animals and dangerous goods. And those dangerous goods are including guns, warheads, things of that nature, and also animals.
Is that private though?
I'd have a hard time thinking, no, this is a cargo plane. Like cargo planes come in and out of all the major airports. It's just at a separate terminal and a separate gig. The company's leadership has ties to Israeli government, and I don't know. I want to lean towards something like this, to be honest with you, and kind of believe in it, because when we were evacuated and had to go out onto the tarmac, we saw a bunch of FBI agents pull up.
Yeah.
I mean, there was
kind of like, oh shit.
Yeah, and we didn't know what the fuck was going on. And we asked, several employees in the airport, is this a terrorist attack? And they didn't have an answer for us. And then there was a message playing over the intercom that just said, we have an unidentified emergency. We're working on trying to contain it. And we didn't know what was going on. The employees didn't know what was going on, like genuinely, because these were people who didn't want to fucking be there anyways. So
one of the guys was like, I'm stuck out here as much as you are. And it's like, well, you're getting paid. You live here.
Yeah,
this is your job.
Yeah.
It's actually not the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, we know you're in the cold too with a jacket on.
And my, because my other theory behind this, I didn't hear this story. Once I heard this story, I was like, all right, cool. Israel obviously has been going through some shit after, Jerusalem was named the capital. There's been some bombs, some shit lobbed at them. Maybe they were loading up and needed some weapons or nukes or whatever it is. I don't know. It's certainly plausible. So I'm not gonna to rule it out. My first initial thought, by the way, which I didn't talk about, what I thought it was going on at the time was a test against terrorism.
Somebody said that. Someone else said that too.
Yeah. Well, but that's what I thought too. Of like, there's a moment where you're out there under fucking rescue blankets and shit with 60,000 people on a tarmac and it's raining, and you're like, man, I remember looking around at how vast it was and how many people there were out there. And I was like, if you were going to kill a bunch of people or try to blow up an airport, like this is the blueprint for it right here. And what was it a test with our government to say, okay, here's the busiest airport in the world. Are we prepared for something like this to happen and go down without incident or with people getting out of there safely? And my answer is no. I don't think they were prepared at all.
No.
We got those tram cars came and got us an hour and a half in, somewhere in there.
Of standing outside?
Yeah. Maybe it was longer. I don't know, 2 hours.
Yeah.
But they just kept sending a couple shuttles at a time to get people out of there to another terminal. Then we got to the opening terminal and we're trying to get out. And, they had agreed to let people out of the airport, which initially they weren't. They were saying, no, everybody's got to stay here inside the terminals. And then they said, okay, no, we're going to let you guys out. And you're allowed to call anybody or get relatives or try to get cabs or Ubers. No, nobody's cell phone was working and the internet was out. Everything was knocked out. So then you had 60,000 people outside the main entrance of the airport. If you were going to, have an act of terrorism, we were 60,000 sitting ducks outside that fucking thing with nowhere to go. And either you're going to trample everybody else as soon as shots start firing or bombs start going off or whatever it is, or you're just all going to get nuked in a row there. And when I really sat back and looked at it, I was like, this could be somebody either creating a blueprint or trying to prevent it, like our own government, of saying this is the best test case you could ever get. Right over the holidays, at the world's busiest airport. Let's see what this is really like if we're prepared for something like this. So the 4chan thing is super interesting, though. Like when I saw it, I was like, fuck. Because they do have a record of this flight. So it's not like this was an invisible flight that didn't. And why is a cargo plane from Mexico City to Israel that fucking important?
Well, they carry live cargo, right?
Well, they can. It's in this one instance you could carry live animals. But I will say this, going in and out of Atlanta, there was 1 million live animals on there. So unless you're shipping fucking 80 Kentucky Derby horses,
Right.
and you paid off the government, $20 million to get your plane out of there.
Right.
No live animal or would make sense going all the way to Israel.
Right.
Like, what's that going to matter? I bought a dog online, and it got shipped on a cargo plane to Los Angeles, and I had to go to the cargo to pick it up. And when I got it, there was 100 animals in that fucking thing. Like, so what would have mattered? What was the importance of that? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
There's a bunch of cargo planes filled with animals, so I'm gonna check that off.
Okay.
And I like the theory that people are presenting from this 4chan thing. I like it a lot because I think that's totally plausible. But we'll see. We'll see if anybody ever talks about it. I think it'll be like the Stephen Paddock thing, and we don't hear another fucking word about it. And that's it. And it was just one weird day in everybody's lives, and we move on, and that'll be it.
And then they bomb the fucking airport, and they're like, "Oh yeah, they did a dry run."
Yeah, they did a fucking dry run.
We were there for the dry run.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see. But it was, you could add a massive disaster. Massive. The other massive disasters is Ocean's 8 trailer that came out.
Talking about a lot of disasters tonight.
Boy, people were going bug fuck for this thing online too. Like like, oh, the Ocean's 8 trailer has finally arrived. We talked about this, over the summer when we were talking about movies getting remade and what a crock of shit it was. And now with the feminist movement, yay, we're our own women, we're doing our own thing, and we're powerful. Why remake a man's movie like this and shittier? Like, it looked like such a janky version of Ocean's 11 where you were just like, Jesus Christ. Like, I get it. You got Sandra Bullock in it and Kate Blanchett. Blanchett, yeah. You have a million Oscar winners in this. But then you're sticking them with Rihanna and a Chinese.
Aquafina.
Aquafina is her name. And that's AWK.
Sure.
I-N, Fina.
F-I-N.
Yeah. Aquafina. So she's starring in a movie with Kate Blanchett, who's won 90 Oscars, and Sandra Bullock as well. Where is the female power in that? Like, why, if you're going to get that many, I was going to say great actors, but then I remembered Rihanna's in it and Aquafina. You also got Mindy Kaling in it, which, fine.
Sure.
I'll slide Mindy Kaling into the at least actor category, and I'm not going to lump her with Aquafina and that's a water. It's a fucking water bottle. Like, you just named yourself after a water bottle. What if I just named myself Smart Water?
Dasani.
Yeah. And I just came in and I was just like, we've the next person to audition. Hang on. He's, great guy. You're gonna have to lower the height in the camera a little bit. He's 6'3". His name is Dasani. I'm sorry. It's Dasani. Oh, you mean like the fucking water? Yeah. It's just Dasani. You had to, looking at the call sheet, if you're Kate Blanchett, 9-time Oscar winner or whatever the fuck she is, and you see Aquafina, not even spelled correctly,
she doesn't seem like
4th or 5th on that call sheet with Rihanna, you have to be asking yourself, what the fuck am I doing?
What am I doing? I'm Kate Blanchett, and I'm also awesome and cool and seem to have like a good sense.
To me, she is the greatest female actress we have right now in today's world. Would you agree or disagree with that statement? I fucking hate Meryl Streep.
Okay. I'm actually over Meryl Streep. She just kind of laughs a lot, and people think that it's good acting.
Yeah.
So she's not that great. So yeah.
Who's better than Kate Blanchett these days?
Who's better than?
For my money, I'm going Kate Blanchett in whatever I can get.
Yeah.
And DDL, Daniel Day-Lewis, obviously.
Yeah.
But you put the two of them together, fuck off. Forget about life.
Totally.
But you have somebody as powerful as her, and even more so Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock, she's not the greatest actress to me. She's a great movie star. She's great at being a movie star. I like her. I like all of her movies that she's in.
And she's a producer, and she's
great.
She does all of it.
She's great. She's not as great as Kate Blanchett, but she's great. But Sandra Bullock is the most powerful female box office movie star that we have right now in America. She can get any movie greenlit. All of her movies have been hits, with the exception of the one which she did with Melissa McCarthy.
Oh yeah.
No, fuck. Actually, that was a hit. That made a shit ton of money.
Right?
That Heat. Yeah.
Heat, I think.
Whatever it was.
Something.
Yeah. something. It was hot.
Hot Heat. Or
Hot Heat or whatever
Big
the fuck it was.
Heat.
That did well. That even did well. It was a terrible movie, but it did well.
Right.
Sandra Bullock can get any movie greenlit on the planet. So can Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
Why are you going, if you were so into the feminist movement, why are you remaking men's shit when there's no need for it? Mm-hmm. There's a million amazing original stories by women that have not been told, and there's only a handful of people powerful enough to tell them.
Yeah.
So why aren't you using that power and getting stories made that make a difference or something that is original and shows females in an original, strong light of, hey, I'm a boss-ass bitch who used her fucking power to get this original script greenlit, put a female director on it, get a female director on it, and hire whoever I want and put that out into the world and maybe create my own franchise instead of using something else. Like Ocean's 8, would they three of them die? Or they couldn't find 3 more women to stick in there with Awkwafina? Like, I don't know what the whole shindig is on that. People are saying that she's also playing George Clooney's brother, and they kill him off. That was in the trailer.
Sister?
Yes, correct. I'm sorry. Danny Ocean.
I was gonna go a whole trans.
No.
Okay.
No. That'll be trans Frank, obviously.
Okay.
But with that, that he's gonna die, and then Matt Damon's in the movie, and the only reason I know this shit is because there is a petition currently going on to get Matt Damon out of the movie because of the comments he made about women and his relationship with Harvey Weinstein and all of that shit, which, I didn't think his comments were that bad. Everybody else apparently has. But now they're like, what
were they like?
He was saying that people should be separated by degrees of what the assault was before you start exiling him and ending their life. Apparently they didn't.
Behind the scenes,
because on Twitter,
women will say the same thing.
Yeah, online they were killing Matt Damon, and
not all women, but
yeah. But online they're killing Matt Damon. This petition is over 18,000 signatures to get him out of this movie, this female empowerment movie, which again I want to point out is a fucking man's movie that you're just remaking. To get him out of there and kind of do the old Kevin Spacey, Christopher Plummer little switcheroo to get him out of there and maybe put somebody else in. So I don't know what's going to happen with that.
What guy are you going to put in there that didn't know about Harvey Weinstein, though?
Well, here's the hilarious thing. So if you go back to...
They all did.
If you go back to Ocean's 11, though, you have Brad Pitt, who...
knows. Personally affected by it.
And...
almost punched him in the face for it.
Yes. Yeah. 1. 2, he got arrested for, being drunk on a plane with his kids and... that caused the divorce with Angie and that whole fucking shit. Then you have Matt Damon. Obviously, you can't have him. Casey Affleck is the other one.
Oh, yeah. He likes to also rape.
Heard of him? Maybe. So you can't have Casey Affleck in there.
Ben Affleck. No, he wasn't in
he was not in the film.
He wasn't in this one. What's another one?
Scott Conn.
He knew.
Yeah, I know.
So
and his dad lived at the Playboy Mansion
for sure. He knew.
Like lived in the mansion for 4 years. Like
he knew.
Then you're down. You're down to the guy who was the computer, the tech guy. I love him.
Definitely knew.
I love him. He was a great actor.
I know, and he's been in the business long enough.
I don't think he knew. Yeah,
everyone knew.
Everyone. I'm kidding. So
everyone knew.
Who are you
can't
going
find
to
someone
replace?
That didn't know.
Yeah, who are you going to replace Matt Damon with?
Sandra Bullock knew.
Yeah.
Kate Blanchett knew. Like we all knew. It was just a matter of like you just were hoping that girls were gonna get smart. That thing, I don't know.
So I don't know what they're gonna do with that fucking thing. Now that's kind of become a mess. The movie comes out over the summer, which they're putting in the same slot as the female Ghostbusters. So, oh boy, this is it's gonna be a Hollywood shit show coming up. We did see a great movie that we liked last night. SAG screeners are here. Voting for the SAG Awards. We get all the award screeners, which is nice. We saw The Disaster Artist last night with James Franco, directed it, starred in it, played Tommy Wiseau.
Bravo.
I enjoyed the film. We were looking forward to it anyways.
Job.
Yeah. We were looking forward to it anyways. He was great. Not only as the lead actor, but he was directing wise. It was great. He did it. He knocked it out of the park.
Spot on.
Yes.
They said they showed it to people that had never seen The Room, and they were like, this guy is just too weird. He's like way too over the top. We can't handle it.
Yeah.
But if you've seen The Room, you're like, no, that's how the guy is.
That's how the guy is.
So if you haven't seen it, you would just be like, this character is unbelievable.
Yes.
Nobody like that exists.
Yep. And that's my only, like, there is no other, I don't have one knock on that movie except for the fact of I've seen The Room 10 times. I love The Room. I've had numerous copies of it stolen from friends and all that shit over the years. Seen it in theaters. If you didn't see the movie, though, a lot of the lines as you're going along, oh, hi, Mark. You don't understand the hilarity of it. It would help if you saw The Room in its entirety and then saw this movie.
I don't know.
I'll tell you why. Because when you see it for the first time, I'll never forget the first time I saw The Room. When I saw it for the first time, the first 15 or 20 minutes, I was like, God damn it, this is awful, man. I can't sit through this anymore. And I started hearing people laugh around me. And then I was like, all right. So I guess people are in on this, and they were, because they had seen it before. I had, obviously. So like as the movie keeps going, like I find myself laughing harder and harder and harder and harder, which they kind of portrayed at the premiere of this.
Yes.
And but what I found myself is I went home afterwards. I bought it on Amazon, had it shipped to my house, and then showed it to a bunch of friends and shit. And I was already starting to know some of the lines and why they were bad and who this guy was and stuff. So like to me, as this movie was going along last night, I'm looking at those lines that I knew were from the movie, and some I think would fall on deaf ears to some of the audience. And so you saw the whole thing where you're like, oh, all right, cool.
Maybe. I think that his character was so defined. I think he did it really well. To where you're just like, oh, this guy's just so weird, and how he talks, and established him as a real person way before you even get to the movie part of it.
Right.
So I think that we disagree in that, where I was like, I don't know if you have to really know the total story or have seen the movie to really go along with this.
Well, that's what made me appreciate it, was having seen that movie. And then going back and seeing this story of like, all right, cool. And I guess, look, it could be me because I've been quoting it for so many years. Like there's so many lines in there we've with our friends in LA that you've been quoting for so long that you're like, man, no one would get that out in the street. Like I've said lines in that movie. I've said, oh, hi, Mark, to some people, and they're just like, what the fuck is that? You know, I guess it's the same as any other movie that you're a fan of and you start quoting it. And then you come across that one buddy that you're like, no, but remember when he said that? And they're like, man, I haven't seen that. So
and you're like, what?
Yes. Yeah. So that's the only thing, but it was fantastic. And like, I really enjoyed it.
I just thought bravo for him, like getting that, like buying the rights, I guess, to that book, or
bought the rights to the book, and they made it for a small budget. I want to say it was somewhere close in the neighborhood of what Tommy Wiseau shot his movie for. 6 or something. Yeah, somewhere at $6 million, somewhere in that range. But it was great. It was a great movie. The strange thing about it, though, that I couldn't help think as we were going along, because we had a digital screener of it, is would I have paid for this in a theater? And the answer is no. No. And like the sad part about movie watching and movie going to me right now is that's kind of how it's leaning to me, where it's like, man, if I'm not seeing a big event movie, like I would kind of rather just kind of be home and see it, you know?
Would I go to The Room, like a midnight screening?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because seeing in a theater with a bunch of people, it's like an event. And I think that's where movies are leaning. And you know, it's sad that I say that, because I used to be, and I had this discussion with Michael Rappaport where it was just like, man, I used to go to the movies every single weekend.
His Django story.
His Django Unchained story was incredible.
He had the wrong thing, but he was just like, nope, I'm not fucking getting up. These poor people had to fucking go. And he said, no, I'm staying.
And that's where, sadly, I think that's where the culture is headed, where it's like, I think once this movie hits Netflix or, you know, HBO or whatever it's going to hit, everybody will love this film. I just don't think that many people will go see this in theaters.
It's up for Golden Globe, or?
It's up for Screen Actors Guild Award, and I believe a Golden Globe, but I don't know for what. I know Franco got nominated as an actor, but not as a director in it.
Good.
So I'm not sure. I don't know who wrote that script, but
So good.
You look at the Christmas movies that are coming out. You have Jumanji, which
Sure.
not one prayer on this earth can you get me to go see. And then obviously the DDL movie,
right?
Phantom Thread, which I've been waiting my whole life. No, but I know I'm going to be in a theater by myself watching that. That is not coming as a screener, by the way. It did not get nominated for Best Picture. Yeah. Positive. That was the first thing I looked for.
Obviously.
I was like, come on, are we getting fucking DDL at the house? Do I have to leave? Can I just, No. The answer is no on that.
You do have to leave.
Yeah, I got to go see that in the movies.
Christmas Eve.
Wow.
Christmas Day.
Yeah, Christmas Day. Obviously, I'm going to have to.
Leaving your family, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can wait to open up gift. Like we have a 3-year-old. He can wait to open up gifts until I get back from this 3.5 hour opus, and I need to see. Just there's nothing like
Can you imagine?
There's nothing like making a child wait with your whole family, grandparents, everyone, around,
everything,
and then saying, "Hey, Dad's movie that he really wanted to see with Daniel Day-Lewis is out about a seamstress from the 1950s. That's 3.5 hours. So if you guys want to hang out around the tree, it's cool. Just don't open anything or eat any food, or
I'm gonna take a couple gummies.
Yeah, don't start Christmas until I get back, because I gotta.
What time would that be?
I gotta hop on down the road. By the time I got back, let's say you went to a noon. Say you went to a matinee show for a show available.
Sure.
12:30.
12:30.
Probably be home around 4:00.
Okay.
Five
for Christmas Day.
Yeah. So you make the child wait until 5:00 in the afternoon to open up all of his gifts. So, he wakes up about 7. I figure, look, that's only a 10-hour wait around all of Santa's gifts.
Around all of them wrapped.
Yeah.
Under the,
And you guys can wait, food and all that stuff. So
we won't eat or anything.
It's a Christmas fast is what it is.
Okay.
While I go see DDL.
Intermittent.
Put on socks for 20 minutes. Oh, but the way he's going to put on those socks is going to be Oscar fucking
you'll come back so energized and pumped.
Yeah. Really amped about the day. So yeah, let's plan on that.
Okay, great. Seems business as usual around this house.
We were also, by the way, real quick, we were fantasy football losers this year. Losers. I had, we left the audience on a cliffhanger where there was a Monday night game that I was like, man, I needed this other team to win, and that's the only way I could get into the playoffs.
Sure.
This guy came back, and at the last second after we finished the show, there was a last second field goal, the Pittsburgh Steelers game. And if he had the kicker, and the kicker made the field goal, beat the other team, I got to go to the playoffs. So did you. You were a number 1 seed.
Yes.
I was the 4th seed. And our playoffs are 2 weeks apiece. I got into Jeremy Caldwell is his name if he's listening to the show. We did a fantasy football show at the beginning of the year. I got into the most intense matchup. Look, I've been playing fantasy football for 16, 17 years at this point. That was the most intense fantasy football playoff matchup I've ever been involved in. It's a 2-week playoff, and it came down to he beat me by 6.5 points. He picked up a kicker off the waiver wire who scored 24 points. He made 6 field goals. 3 were over 50 yards. A normal kicker, a great day for a really good kicker is like 12 points. The NFL record is 7 field goals in a game. This guy hit 6 field goals in a game, and he ended up beating me by 6.5 points. And the thing about it is our score was like 295 to 289, and we were both the highest scoring teams after 2 weeks out of the entire league. It was a death match down to the very last second of the very last game, where if Julio Jones just catches a 1-yard touchdown, I win, and that's it. I had Julio Jones going on a Monday night, and
1 yard.
A 1-yard touchdown is all I needed. That's all I needed. He's been shitty the entire year because of our offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons. He plays for the Atlanta Falcons. He was the greatest wide receiver in football last year. This year, as of last week, he finished 27th. And that was one of the worst draft choices ever, which he probably went in everybody's top 5 this year. So not only did I lose Odell Beckham Jr., I lost Deshaun Watson, I lost Jordan Reed for the year, but then on top of it, Julio Jones has the shittiest year of his career, which is totally unexpected. And the weird thing is the Falcons are a game away tomorrow from going back to the playoffs. So like they're doing it in spite of how shitty their offense has been, which is crazy. But I do want to congratulate Jeremy Caldwell for taking down the champ. And you got taken out in another matchup. You had a weird game. Weird set of. You had Ezekiel Elliott, who was supposed to be suspended for 6 games at the beginning of the year. That didn't come until the end of the year, so he missed your playoffs. If Ezekiel Elliott plays, you go into the Super Bowl pretty easy.
I got a lot of condolences once they realized he wasn't.
Yeah, and I'll be curious as to see, because we're in a that's the funny thing, is that we're in a consolation game against each other to see who finishes in 3rd place in the league. But Ezekiel Elliott's back in your lineup, so I'm curious to see how much of a difference it really made, because our point total will be against the Super Bowl point total. And my prediction is I think you outscore everybody, and I think you would have won the Super Bowl. I think you had the best team overall in the league the entire year, and I think you would have with Ezekiel. Without Ezekiel, you don't, and you also lost David Johnson, who was the first pick of the draft. 3 plays into the game, so you got hosed. But I think with missing David Johnson all year, I think with Ezekiel Elliott, you probably would have won the Super Bowl. So We'll get to find out. At least we'll know the numbers against everybody, and that's fucking cool. With that, we'll get to the revolutionary figure of the day, shall we?
We shall.
This one goes out to Rafael Esposito. In 1889, he served King Umberto and Queen Margherita. They were the king and queen of Italy. And he had the privilege of getting them the first known pizza delivered to them.
Ooh.
First delivery pizza ever.
Is that why it's called margarita pizza?
I think so. That's the guess I'm going to go with, because it's
me too.
It's Italiano.
It's Italiano. The margarita.
He said this was the most famous pizza chef in Naples, Italy. So it's Rafael Esposito. Congratulations.
What up?
What up? I bet in 1889 it still crushes anything that fucking shit ass Papa John put out. Yeah.
Way more.
Better ingredients, better pizza, not Papa John's.
Rafael Esposito.
Yeah. Fucking Rafael Esposito. Look at this. End of the show. I'm at the end of my drink. I'm at the end of my Zima. My Zima and Jelly.
How perfect did that work out? Another Christmas miracle.
Oh, boy. It's Christmas miracles all around. For the Jables, Jessie Wiseman, I am Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Good night.